Government is urging the public attending former Finance Minister Tito Mboweni's funeral to go to Nkowankowa Stadium instead of the family home in order to give relatives privacy during their mourning period. Mboweni is set to be buried tomorrow in Sasekane, that's in Limpopo, with President Cyril Ramaphosa expected to deliver the eulogy. SABC News reporter Katlego Nyoni is in Sasekane village, or Sasekani village for us, and joins us now live. And as expected, Katlego, there is a lot of interest in making sure that Tito Mboweni gets a befitting send-off, and so this message from government is quite important.
Certainly, Ayanda, that message is really quite important. We know that the funeral service that will be opened to members of the public will take place at the Nkowankowa Stadium. But Ayanda, there are three key locations here that are quite important. The body of the late Finance Minister Tito Mboweni will arrive at Heinesberg around the Makgoba Kloof area this afternoon for a private funeral service. For a private service. It will then proceed to Sasekani village, which is where we currently are. Now, the viewing here at Sasekani village will be open to those who'd like to bid farewell to the late Finance Minister. But let's get more clarity on these funeral preparations. We are joined by the niece of Tito Mboweni, that is Nhlamulo Mboweni. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Perhaps before I speak to you on the preparations, we're talking off air. I asked you when was the last time you spoke to Tito Mboweni. Would you care to speak to us about that?
Yes, the last time I spoke to my uncle was on the 3rd of October. I think it was a Thursday afternoon. We were discussing something about the family. So that was the last time I spoke to him.
Thank you. And we are at Sasekani at his family home where he grew up, and we see that preparations are underway. Talk to us about today, what will transpire. We know that his body is expected to arrive around Heinesberg at that Heinesberg Roman Catholic Church. Talk to us about the day.
Okay, for now we're just finalizing all the final arrangements for tomorrow and for this evening. So we are waiting people that are in Joburg to come with the body. Yes. And
in terms of the viewing in the afternoon, talk to our viewers about that. What will happen?
So the viewing will start with those that will be able to get to Makgoba Kloof, which is private. It's not open to the public. And then the body will come down to the village, and also that will be done with close family members and friends. Yes.
And ordinary members of the public, will they be able to have an opportunity when the late minister's body is lying in state to view his body?
No, that part was not, it was not finalized. Actually, we would rather not have that done. Yes.
And in terms of the program tomorrow, talk to us about that program. What time is it starting? What are some of the details around it? We know President Cyril Ramaphosa will provide and give that main eulogy address.
Okay, that will happen at the Nkowankowa Stadium from 10 o'clock tomorrow. Yes.
Nhlamulo, thank you very much for your time. Ayanda, that's the niece of the late minister there, Nhlamulo Mboweni, essentially talking to us about the last time she interacted and spoke with him, talking to us there also about the preparations, looking at today that the body of the late minister will arrive at Makgoba Kloof for a private service. It will then be transported to Sasekani village, which is where we currently are, and then from there onwards we understand that it will go back to Heinesberg, where it will lie in state, then be transported again tomorrow to the Nkowankowa Stadium, where there will be a public funeral service taking place for that Category 2 funeral. Ayanda?
Yeah, and Katlego, before we let you go, I'm sure there's a lot of preparations even where you're at. I mean, we can see behind you there the drapings of what seems to be a tent in ANC colors. We can hear trucks in the background, wheelbarrows in some instance. I wonder if you can help paint the picture for us around just how things are faring where you are in the build-up to tomorrow's funeral.
Well, certainly I'm going to ask my colleague Llewellyn Castens to perhaps go and show our viewers what is unfolding outside where we are at the family home of the late Finance Minister Tito Mboweni. This is where we expect in the afternoon, Ayanda, that his remains will be brought to this village, Sasekani, where he grew up, and the family niece, the niece of the late Tito Mboweni, saying that it will be a private family affair, and then the only one that will be open to members of the public will be conducted at the Nkowankowa Stadium. We know that there's going to be another private service that will take place at the Johannesburg Roman Catholic Church around the Makgoba area. We know that Mr. Mboweni had a plot around that area, but as you can see behind me, Ayanda, those preparations are indeed quite underway. We will leave the area shortly to drive to Makgoba, where we will report live as the body of the late minister arrives.